Hi, this is Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today I've got an unenveloping for you. Here's the envelope. This has come all the way from Cult Pens in the UK. Today I'm going to be doing one of the pens that's in this package. We'll take a look at the pen, we'll briefly discuss it, we'll fill it with ink, do a writing sample, then I'll give you my first impressions. So join me now down on the mat. Let's jump straight in. So here we are down on the mat. So let me just fetch in the pen. Here we go. It comes in this nice black velvet style packaging, which I think is good. That means there's not a lot to throw away. You know, you've got this pen bag which you can use again and again. Just going to ease that out and let me fetch in my pen rest. So this is a small pen. It's called a mini fountain pen. And it is what it says, it's mini. If I'm going to turn it over, we can see here it's branded by Cult Pens. So this was actually made for their 15th anniversary. And it's made for them by Kaweco. So you've got a high quality German manufacturer. For Cult Pens, the aim of the pen was it needed to be small and slim. The barrel should be metal. It should be able to be securely capped, have a pocket clip, and the nib should be smooth and reliable. They also wanted to make sure that it took standard international cartridges. So with this is what Kaweco produced for them. As I say, it is small. We'll take a look at the size comparisons in a minute. I'm just going to do a quick walkthrough. So starting at the top here, we've got a flat silver coloured cap, which comes right down into that clip there. And that clip is really nice and springy. We come then down into the cap. It's all one width. It's this gorgeous dark blue colour. And it comes down at the bottom of the cap. There's a little silver band that gently slopes down so it meets the rest of the body. And there isn't a drop off that I can feel there. As I said, on the back, got Cult Pens, and it's made by Kaweco. The body, again, it's that same dark blue colour, and it's going all the way down, and again, staying that same width. Once we get down to the bottom of the body, we've got a slightly tapering silver coloured end cap, and then we've got a little step up, and then flat at the top again. So really simplistic design, which is really what I like to see. You know, yes, it's nice with some pens where you got all this complex patterning. This is simple, and that's what I like because it does what it says then. It's a nice pen. It does feel nice in the hand. There's a little bit of weight to it. Let's take off the cap. I'm going to go. That's half a turn. That's one turn. That's 1.5. That's 2. 2.5, about 2 3/4 turns to take it off. So not overly bad that. This then reveals this nib. Again, it's a nice, simple nib. Nothing complicated about it. So what we've got is we've got some scroll work there at the top. That comes down then. We've got the breather hole. So on one side we've got Germany, the other side we've got established 1889. Below that we've got the Kaweco logo, and then below that we've got BB, plus this is an extra broad or a double broad pen. First time I've tried this size nib, so I'm really interested to see how I go on with it. I like broads. I've got a couple of stubs which I quite like as well, so that's why I thought, well, let's give this one a try. So going from the nib, we step into the section. The section is metal and it's got some ribbon on it, which I'm hoping will mean that it's nice and comfy and your fingers don't slide on it. That then tapers out till we come to the threads for the cap. Threads don't feel too rough when I'm rubbing my fingers over it. And then we come into the metal band, which leads us into the rest of the body. Now, one of the things I've noticed here, I thought this metal band was at the bottom of the cap. It's not. It's actually on the body. So the cap, as we can see here, it just ends with that lovely, gorgeous blue colouring. Just going to now unscrew this. Takes a while, doesn't it? Loads of threads there. That reveals this, which is where I'm hoping that my converter will fit. Inside, we've got one cartridge. Looks like it's in blue. What I've also done is I've ordered this. This is a Kaweco converter, and I'm hoping that this will fit in the pen. And unfortunately, it doesn't. So I'm going to be using the cartridge for now until I can work out a way I can get some kind of converter in there. Let's put this back together. We'll leave that cartridge over to the side for the minute. Okay, I'm going to change my pen stand, pop this into the middle, do a couple of quick size comparisons. So the first two pens I'm going to fetch out, what I'm trying to do now is standardize my videos, so I use these two pens on every video. Lamy Safari, Pilot Metropolitan. Doesn't that look a small pen in the middle of those two beasts? Let's take off the caps. So we can look at the nibs. Again, just look at that. Doesn't that look weird? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the cap on the end, because that's how really it should be used. You can only use this posted, which we'll see when I do my writing sample. So when it's posted, not much shorter than the Metropolitan, but definitely shorter than the Lamy. As I say, the nibs, you can have to see a difference there, but it's bought as a pocket pen, so I expect a small nib. Let me get these two out of the way. I'm going to leave this uncapped for the second. What I'm going to do now is fetch in this pen. This is a Kaweco Sport Classic. So when it's posted, the Classic is a lot longer. In my hand, posted, this fits really nicely. Let's try it again now with this one. Look at the Colt Pens one. Yeah, a little bit shorter, but it's still a nice fit in the hand. Just going to take off the caps. So uncapped, again, you can have to see a difference, can't you? You let me just line up the nibs, but the nibs do seem to be the same size. So I'm wondering if this is just a standard Kaweco nib, but in a silvered colour rather than the gold colour that I've got here. Let me cap these. So capped. They're actually about the same size, and I do like that this screws on and off, so I don't have to worry about it being in my pocket and accidentally coming off. And sometimes I do worry about that with the Sport. It's never happened to me, but you know what people are like. You get something into your head and there it stays. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to step away, I'm going to clean out the pen, I'm also going to clean out that cartridge, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually fill that with the ink that I want to use rather than the ink that's provided. I will put this in so the ink has the time to start flowing down into the nib before we do our writing sample. So here I am back. Whilst we give that pen a few minutes to let the ink flow through, we'll take a look at the ink I'm going to be using. I've put this. Colt Pens Little Chris. It's a Colt Pens pen. Might as well use a matching ink. So this, it's made by Diamine. Why I've chose this, the blue that's in the main colour of this ink seems to really well match with the blue in the body. So I thought, yeah, there's a good match there. But also, look at this gorgeous sheen. It's got a really nice red sheen to it. And I thought, because I've got a double broad, hopefully that sheen will really come out in my writing. So that's why I thought, yep, Little Chris, this is the one. So in comes now my writing pad. This is the normal optic paper by Oxford that I use. Really nice fountain pen friendly paper. Hopefully we'll see some of this sheen coming through. So let's do our writing sample. So here we go. This is the Colt Pens. And they call it a mini fountain pen. And it's a double broad and extra broad. This pen cost me 50 Australian dollars. So a bit more than you pay for the Sport, but the Sport's a plastic body. This is all metal. The ink, Colt Pens, Little Chris. Now, I'm not seeing much in the way of that sheen coming through at the moment. Maybe as it dries, we'll see a little bit more. You know, there's not much there. Let's do our writing sample, then come back and have a look. So drying times, immediate. Not too bad. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Nearly dry there. 1 minute. After a minute, look at that, that's lovely and dry, isn't it? Our writing sample. Do you know, that's really nice to write with, nice and smooth. It just glides over the paper with just that slightest hint of feedback. So it's not glassy, it's just nice. Line variation. So yeah, I can get a little bit if I put some extra pressure on, but got to be careful that I don't end up like we did there where it railroads. So there's light, here's with a bit more pressure, going across, and again with a little bit more pressure. Yeah, nice. How about if I just see if I can get it to stop writing completely. We're going nice and fast. Keeps up well even when I'm doing that scribble. Let's just pop that down. We'll take a look at our writing. As I say, it's really nice to write with. Nice and smooth, enjoyable. I would say it's not too small. Might be a wee bit on the thin side, but it's meant to be there as a pocket pen for taking quick notes on the go. So I always have one of these with me. This one's is the Pergamenta. I've got 7 of these, which I got a while ago. These are made by Fabriano. And they're handy. They just slip into my pockets. Yes, I know I'm a sad person. I like cargo pants. So I just slip that and the pen in my pocket. So I've always got that notepad and pen on me whenever I need it. Let's look to see if there's any of that sheen coming through. Just going to lift that paper slightly, see if we can get some different light. So I can see there on the eye, bit down the bottom of the A and the I, a little bit here. On the little, we've got quite a bit coming through on the little and on the I and the Chris. My Grumpy Wizards, not really that much bits, but it's coming through as more black than red. Jovial's got some. See some here on the bottom where I was trying to get that line variation. So not as much sheen as I'd like, but again, that's something I can play around with. It could be, it needs just that little bit longer sat so that when it writes with more of the sheen coming through. I haven't got an issue with it. I actually like the colour. And although it's lighter than the body, I think it's a reasonable match. So what are my first impressions of this pen? It is small. It's substantial in the fact that you can tell you're holding it, which sometimes I can't do when I use the Sport. This is one of my concerns here. Yes, the cap screws on at the bottom, but when you're posting it, it just pushes on, it doesn't screw on. So you've got to push it on with a little bit of pressure to get it to stick. When I was doing a test of making sure the ink was coming through, this kept falling off. I had to push it really, really far down. So that's, yeah, one potential issue. Another one is, obviously, I'm going to have to make sure I get the clip facing up the right way. Otherwise, it digs into my hand. That's the beauty of the Sport. By not having a clip at all, I don't have to worry about that. In the hand, my fingers, they glide a bit up and down on this section. Not too much. The section, a bit on the small side, but perfect for me. I hold my sections down near the bottom anyway, so I can put my fingers there. And it's only coming to the top of the section, so it's not really interfering with the body. And say, if I unscrew this again, here's a concern. The cartridge doesn't fit very well into that converter. Let me just see if I can get out there. So can you see? I've got ink all over the place already. So that is a concern that I'm going to have to struggle to get this cartridge to go in and stay in. I need to work out how I can better do that. Let me just wipe this off. So what I need to do is I need to find some way to get a converter in there. I mean, you can see there the splodge I made when I was trying to fiddle around with that. And yes, I know you don't normally take your cartridges on and off as you're using your pen. So a little bit of a non-issue, but it's still there anyway. It's something I need to be aware of. But all in all, it's a nice pen. I enjoyed writing with it. And once I've got that cartridge issue sorted, then I'll be happy to carry it around in my pocket. As it is, yes, I know it's screwed down, but I'd just be concerned about that coming off, somehow leak out of the pen, and then I've got a glorious blue stain all over my cargo shorts. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What do you think of this pen? Have you got a similar pen? What other pocket pens are there that you could maybe suggest it's worth me to try? Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, it just helps to surface my content for other people. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.